silence.
Born against the stream, it don't matter what race or creed or color. You love this land and you're my brother. That ain't the place to know I'm gonna stand. If you say you can't breathe, I'll show you we can. Ain't never gonna stop believing. We were born for freedom. We were born for freedom.
Back down.
We will not back down. I'm trying not to back down. I'm trying to keep you guys from not backing down or backing down. Live streaming. I got another violation on TikTok, so I can't live stream on TikTok until the 8th. Bullshit. I don't even know why. Misinformation. I think I was actually talking shit about Mike Lindell and Quanon. And I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't freaking know. I don't know what. I get slapped with so much different stuff, but I don't care. I don't care. But I am live streaming on Instagram. So if you guys want to go watch me on the gram, I'm Red Pill TV1, TikTok, Jennifer Red Pill. All of the other independent free speech platforms that nobody uses, I'm on there too, Red Pill Rage. And if you want to send me an email, I'm redpillrage@protonmail.com. Whew. So today, Race Hoaxes Part 1, Danielle Watson, Michael Bennett. Ooh, do I got stories for you. Now listen, you guys buckle up because we're going to be here a while. I have so much material to go through. I got stories to tell. I'm bringing the receipts. I'm about to show you guys. I'm about to show you why wokety woke, 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 blackety black, 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 activists, acty, act. Why all of that, not only does it ruin people's lives, the people that are being accused of it, but it also affects people's lives. It affects people's lives peripherally, tangentially. Look at me using big words. Tangentially, it affects other people's lives. People get fired, people lose jobs, people associated with those people get harassed. A lot happens. A lot happens when you are accused of being a racist. And so I wanted to just dive into something that happened actually back in 2014. And people, you might be like, well, why are you bringing it up? You know, Jenny, why are you bringing up old shit? And Norm, and you guys know how I am. I don't like to bring up old shit because, you know, people can change and things happen and people learn. But I want to use these examples of how easily it can happen to anybody. How easily and how cavalier woke culture is to just randomly call somebody a racist with no proof, with no evidence, with nothing other than I don't like the way you talk to me, or I don't like that you did this to me, or I don't like that you asked me to leave, or I don't like that you asked me for my ID. That's what all of this comes from. That's where all of this fucking comes from, because niggas get butthurt when something happens that they don't like. And that's all this really is. That's all this really is. For some people, it might be, hey, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at the conference. What's going on? Are you guys on lunch break? Misinformation. I can't stand that broad. Do you know who I'm talking about? We're going to get into it. I've already been saying her name, so maybe some of you guys have Googled what happened in 2014. But you see, I got the inside scoop. I got the inside scoop because I was actually friends with Chef Brian Lucas, who is her white boyfriend. I think they're married now. Who is her white boyfriend that was a participant in this whole fiasco. Okay. So hold on one second. I actually need to do something. Hold on. We have thin walls here, so I got to make sure that, my little room here is a little bit more soundproof. But so I'm just gonna get right into it. We're gonna be going rapid fire, so you guys need to be keeping up, like be keeping up mentally with what is happening, because I'm gonna tell you the progression from the beginning all the way up to what happened 2 years after, 2 years after this race hoax. Okay, check it out. All right, so first up, let's get into this. Okay. So here is a picture of me and Brian Lucas. This was, I think, the first or second time that we met. Back in 2012, I had a little catering business. It was just me. I didn't have any employees or anything. I had a little catering business, and I was making raw vegan chocolates. Okay, so that's a whole nother story to tell, and all the celebrities that I met through making that, and just it really opened up my career as a chef. Okay, but I don't want to get into that. That's not important. But basically, when it comes to raw vegan food, there aren't a whole lot of chefs that are really good at making it. Okay. And in LA, it was a very, very tight circle of chefs that were a part of this community. Okay. You had Chef David Avocado Wolf, who you have seen from the Ninja Bullet commercials. Okay. He's a total hippie, total burner. Okay. You had Chef Giuliano, who had a restaurant in Santa Monica. I went there one time and saw fucking, Pamela Anderson there. Okay. By the way, she's really fucking ugly without makeup, like really ugly. Like her skin doesn't even look real. Her skin is like gray. Like she's just very strange looking. She does not look good anymore. You had Chef Sherry Ray Russell, who was a personal friend of mine. We actually lived in the same building. So she lived on the third floor. I lived on the second floor. Her sister was my direct neighbor right next to me. And she was like one of my best friends when I was living in downtown LA. Okay. So we had her, who, by the way, hosted a lot of Brian's hosted a lot of hosted a lot of Brian's birthday parties, three of which I went to. Okay, so me and Brian met at an event that I was catering. It was definitely the Burning Man community. Okay, and this is going to come up later. So remember, Brian and all the people that I was working with, the majority of my clientele were Burning Man people. And that tends to come by default when you are making a niche cuisine, such as not just vegan food, but raw vegan food. And like I said, there aren't a lot of people who are really good at doing it. Okay. I'm not talking about the vegan food that you get at like the frozen section of the grocery store. Okay. I'm not talking about like black bean burgers. Okay. I'm talking about like more high end raw vegan food where the food is so good it literally tastes like meat, or you're making cheeses out of cashew nuts that really taste like cheese. It takes a lot of time and a lot of experience to be able to manipulate vegetables to taste like real food and have texture of like real food. So again, very close knit, small community. There were not a lot of people making raw vegan food at this time. So this is a party that I met Brian at. This was either the first or second time we met. He bought some food for me. We were instant friends. And when I say friends, like it wasn't just that. And this is over time. Okay. I'm just showing you a picture of the first time we met in 2012. So we were the type of friends where even if we didn't talk a lot, like even if we weren't like super personal with one another, we always saw each other at events. We had several mutual friends in the community. I've been to his birthday parties. Um, I've been, the guy that I used to buy weed from was one of his friends. So I would go buy my weed and then Brian would be on the couch and we were always in the same community. We were always like, we'd always bump into each other at least once a month, and we had each other's phone numbers. Even after I left LA, and I moved to the Bay Area, he would still call me and text me every now and then. And if him or his daughter or his son was coming through the Bay Area, he would ask me if they could stay at my place. And they never ended up doing it, but eventually, is there something wrong with the stream? Because there's like nobody in this chat right now. Okay. It seems to be working on my end. Anyway, so we were always kind of in each other's lives. Merry Christmas, happy birthday, touch base with each other a few times a year. So this man stayed in my life well after I left Los Angeles, and I left LA in 2013. We were still friends up until like 2017, 2018. Okay. I met Brian about a year before he got with this girl named Danielle Watts. Danielle Watts is an actress. I don't know a whole lot about her, but I do remember the very first time that he met her, because when I went to go get weed from the weed man, he was there and he had gone out on his first date with Danielle the night before. So he had come over and he was talking to us about the date that they had. And I thought, it was really romantic. Like, he said he cooked for her and he said, they had this amazing date and it was love at first sight and all this other shit, right? Totally romantic story. Okay. So like I said, just to establish the timeline here, I knew him before he got with this girl. And over the next several months, and several years, they were always together and he was always talking about her and he was always posting about her. So like they really together. All right. In 2014, these two decided that they were going to have sex in a car because they love each other so much. They were going to have sex in a car in public in Studio City, right outside of, I believe it was Paramount is on Lankershim. Warner Brothers is on, I think, Victory. It was another studio. At CBS, I don't know what it was. But you have to understand, in LA, you might have studio in one place, but then you'll still have offices for those studios in other places. So when we say studios, they were having sex inside of his gray Mercedes in September of 2014. The employees that were on the first floor of this office building saw them having sex, and they called the police. The police came, and this is why we have the problem. This is where the race hoax comes into play. The police show up, they question her, they question him. He gives the police his ID. She decides that she wants to be an activist. She wants to be a civil rights activist in that moment, and she refuses to give the police her ID, right? And she's on the phone the whole time. Like, she's on the phone with her dad. You can hear her talking to her dad as the cops are trying to talk to her. Doesn't even show the cops any courtesy to even hang up the call, okay, and give them her full attention. She's being very bratty. She's being very cavalier. And then she starts acting real crazy. Okay. The next day, Brian and Danielle are on all the major news outlets. They're on Good Day LA. Jimmy Kimmel is talking about it. I believe they went on The View. I could be wrong, but I think they went on The View. They went on Good Morning America to talk about how they were racially profiled for being an interracial couple. And she believes that the cop was suspecting her of prostitution. I get a text message from Brian, and it's a mass group text that he sends to like all the people in his circle, right? Just like private circle, right? Yeah, The View sucks. Hey, Bert, how are you? Thanks for being here. Sorry, I wasn't ready for a phone call this morning. I apologize for that. Forgive me. I needed to sleep. I didn't even wake up till like 10. So in this text message, he tells all of us that him and Danielle have been pulled over in their car many times, and him being a white guy in a nice car and her being a black woman, everybody's suspecting that her of being a prostitute, and this keeps happening and keeps happening and keeps happening, and boo hoo hoo and woe is me and wham 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 and racism racism racism, right? So of course at the time I'm still a liberal, so I'm believing him. Okay, I'm believing him. I'm believing this is a person I've already known for like 2 years. Okay, I believe him. But then, TMZ comes out. Okay, so this becomes a media firestorm for like 4 or 5 days, and then TMZ gets a hold of the full audio, the full 23-minute audio of the entire transaction, the entire interaction between the cops, Brian, and Danielle. Okay, full video. Destroys all her credibility. Now, mind you, at the time, Danielle is on a show called Partners. Her career was already going in a good direction because she had been on a movie that we've all seen called Django Unchained. Hold on. Let's look at her IMDb. Okay. So you guys know her from Django Unchained. Hold on. You guys know her from Django Unchained. All right, right here. She played Coco. She was one of the servants, or should I say, she was one of the slaves in Don Johnson's house. Okay. And she was like real cute and pretty and everything like that. Hold on. Photos. Y'all seen this bitch? I never liked her. I only met her once at a birthday party. So this is her in the background. That's Leonardo DiCaprio in front. That's her in the background. They don't have no good close-up picture of her. This is her on the movie that she was on at the time. I'm sorry, the TV series that she was on at the time. So we got the auntie from what is it? They were on TGR Fridays. Forgot the name of the show. Anyway, we got Martin Lawrence and we got Kelsey Grammer. This show was supposed to be one of Kelsey Grammer's fucking comeback shows. This was supposed to be a comeback show for Martin Lawrence. She's on this show. Guess what happens? Oh, and she was on Weeds too. Okay. She's on that show. Guess what happens? Not only do they don't even write her off the show. They don't even write her off the show. They cancel the entire fucking show. They canceled the entire fucking show because of her. It's not British actor. Okay, ripped. Okay, am I here? Are we here? Are we here? Okay. So they cancel the whole fucking show. Everybody loses their job. Okay, thanks, Danielle, for lying on Good Morning America. Everybody loses their job. Let's go ahead and look at this interchange between the cops and what they said. Okay, I got too much. We're just like I said, rapid fire. You guys need to keep up because this shit infuriated me. Okay, so
New this morning, actress Danielle says she was racially profiled by the LAPD. She spoke to students at the USC Forum on Sexuality and Racism.
You have to work twice as hard to get what the other white girls in your class are going to just get handed to them.
Watts and her boyfriend were charged with misdemeanor lewd conduct for allegedly having sex inside a car in Studio City in September. She says they were just kissing. She says she blew up at an officer when he requested identification.
Well, today.
I'm sharing this video because I think it will be helpful for all women out there who may be struggling with personal food sensitivities. I got the Everywell food sensitivity test. After a quick at-home lab test, I sent it off and I had my results sent to my phone. These help get insight into what foods I may have sensitivity and where I could start my two-part elimination diet. For a busy mom like me, it was critical to learn more about my body and keeping myself in top shape for my family.
Turned out of the disturbing new evidence in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial.
Vacation spots, master bedroom of an underage girl.
we're going to do things in chronological order. Sorry, guys. I got my tabs literally all lined up, but it's different on my share screen. Here we go.
In Studio City, the
actress best known for her role in Django Unchained.
That's right. Sandra Endo is here now with the details on this. The plot thickens this morning, right?
And the audio is especially interesting in this story, Tony and Lauren. Actress Danielle Watts claims she was cuffed because officers mistook her for a prostitute. Listen to this.
I'm not interested in pulling a race card. I'm interested in humanity for all people, regardless of color. Tell me if you think this deserves being in handcuffs. Like that. Do you think that deserves being in handcuffs, fully clothed?
She's lying.
Watts maintains the only thing she did was kiss her boyfriend while sitting in a car. It happened last Thursday afternoon while they were parked at Radford and Ventura Boulevards in Studio City. The LAPD says it was responding to an indecent exposure call. According to celebrity website TMZ, witnesses at the nearby Directors Guild building told police the couple had sex in the car with the door open. Watts was cuffed after refusing to provide identification and walking away from officers. Overnight, TMZ posted police audio of the incident.
Do you know how many times I've been called, the cops have been called just for being black? Just because we're black and he's white? I'm just being really honest.
Who brought up a race card?
I
bringing it up because
I said nothing about you being black.
Here.
And I have every right to ask your ID.
And I have every right to say no. And if you'd like
No, you do not have every right to say no.
You can take me down to the court office and I can make a scene about it.
No.
And you know what? I have a publicist and I'm working.
I'm mildly interested. I'm mildly interested you have a publicist, but I'm going to get your ID.
The actress shared this video of herself talking to police in handcuffs. She also posted a picture of a cut on her wrist on Facebook. The LAPD says Watts and her boyfriend were released after officers determined no crime was committed. Watts says she has hired a lawyer but has no plans at this time to file a lawsuit against the police department. Lauren and Tony.
Bringing up your publicist to the officers.
He was mildly interested.
Just mildly
Not fully interested, just mildly.
All right, Sandra.
Oh, man.
Thanks a lot.
Sandra.
Appreciate it.
Don't you hate it when celebrities are like, don't you know who I am? It's like, bitch, you were in the background of one major feature film. One major feature film. You were in the background. You had 5 fucking lines in that film. Okay. Oh, my publicist. Wait, it gets better. Boom. Let's see. TMZ. So this is maybe 3 days after they go on Good Morning America and they fucking plead their case, and then they tell all of us in their personal lives that they were never having sex and this was totally racial profiling, right? So 3 days after, because this shit happened on the 14th, on the 17th, TMZ, bam, looks like one of the employees took a fucking picture. Busted. Hold on, it gets better. Now, at this time, they're still denying that they were having sex. They're still trying to go with the narrative that they were just kissing and being affectionate, okay? Somebody from TMZ gets these photos. The Django Unchained actress who cried racism against the LAPD, claiming they harassed and hurt her because she was just making out with her white boyfriend in a car, has some explaining to do, because we obtained pictures that seem to show a lot more than sucking face. The pictures were taken Thursday outside the CBS lot in Studio City. You see Danielle Watts straddling boyfriend Brian, their hands steadying themselves around the sunroof. An eyewitness who saw Danielle and Brian as he worked closely in a nearby office tells TMZ Brian was sitting in the passenger seat with his feet on the curb and Danielle was straddling him with her shirt pulled up, breast exposed. The eyewitness says she was grinding on top of him, rocking back and forth. Someone from the office went down and asked Danielle and Brian to stop because everyone in the office could see them, but they continued. The eyewitnesses said Brian then began horizontally bongoing her boobs back and forth. I told you. He says she eventually reached into the center console, grabbed a tissue, wiped him down, and then herself, and tossed it on the grass. Someone from the office called the cops and made an incident exposure complaint. TMZ obtained police audio when the cops came out, and Danielle played the race card and fame card. Okay. There's some more pictures of them together. Okay. This is 2 minutes and 51 seconds. I think I have another one that shows So there was a full 23-minute audio. I remember it because I listened to it over and over and over again, trying to believe what my friend was telling me, okay? And to be quite honest with you, even though I believed them, deep down, I really didn't believe them. And let me tell you why. Because throughout our friendship, Brian would always send like some really like kind of raunchy like pictures and photos of them together. And I don't really know why he would send those photos to me. I don't know if that was like kind of like, hey, I want to have a threesome, or because, because people, there was one person in particular before he got with Danielle that was trying to hook me and Brian up, right? But Brian likes really, really skinny girls. And I was skinny at the time, but I wasn't as skinny as she was. So he likes really skinny girls. So it was, plus he's so fucking, I love the guy, or should I say I cared about the guy, but like that whole Burning Man shit, like I didn't rock with that. The only reason that I was in the Burning Man community was because they were the clients that I was selling my food to. They were my number one supporters of what I was doing. So obviously I'm going to sell my food to whoever's going to pay for it. And you have to understand, these are Burning Man people. And if you guys don't understand, these are people who are really into polygamy. They're really into open relationships. They're all into like nature and crystals and all that new age stuff. They judge everything by energy and not by facts. They judge everything by how they feel and not by any sort of, they don't adhere to any sort of morality. And I'm not saying that they're bad people, but you have to understand, these are like hippies. These are like the new versions of hippies from the 70s. That's what these Burning Man people are, okay? So there was one time before all of this happened where Brian texted me, okay? And I'll put, just for anyone coming in right now, here again is a picture of me and Brian together. So I already knew that. Okay, so I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. The text message that he sent me was a little bit odd. Okay, so this is before the incident happened, but this is after they got together. He sends out a mass text message saying, hey guys, me and Danielle are looking for a place, preferably somewhere with a backyard, because we want to sunbathe nude and be free to do that. Okay, so I'm paraphrasing what he said, but I specifically remember when they were looking for a place, they sent everybody a text and said, we want a place where we can sunbathe nude. Okay, so we're talking about these hippie people. They like being naked all the time. Okay, they feel some reason to be sending people pictures, like weird raunchy ass pictures about their relationship, some of which were like nude or partially nude. Okay, then they go, I'm not even going to get into the Dr. Susan Block show because that is a whole nother fucking story. I can't even go there in this live. But basically they go on a sex show, and I actually used to work as a receptionist at this sex show. This is all in downtown LA. Now remember, the community of swingers and poly people and lifestyle people and Burning Man people, the community is very small. Even in Los Angeles, everybody fucking knows everybody, especially if you live in downtown LA. Okay, so they somehow end up on the Dr. Susan Block show years after I had quit working there. And so that was a whole nother conversation. But let me get back to what happened. Exactly, Dawn. It's like San Francisco or Portland. Okay. These hippie poly people are always in each other's business. Not to mention there is the vegan connection. So everybody knows everybody. Okay. All right. Next. I wish I could share more than one screen at a time. That would be great. Here we go. This is like I said, the thing goes on for a minute. This is, I think they have the full audios here. Yeah, it looks like it's broken up, but let's just go ahead and listen.
I don't understand how we live in a free country where I'm at a parking lot making out with my boyfriend and I get arrested
Yeah, be
because
careful.
somebody calls the cops.
A little emotional.
I don't understand how we live in a free country where cops just put you in handcuffs for nothing.
What's your first name? Why do you think you're in handcuffs? Do you think we put you in handcuffs or you did?
If I put myself in handcuffs,
Who do you think put yourself in handcuffs? Who do you think put you in handcuffs?
I think that this officer right here put me in
No,
handcuffs.
I think you did the minute you left the scene.
Yes, because I was
Do you
being
see?
treated as
I'm
if I
sorry.
was a criminal before
I'm sorry.
I even
Do you
did
see the
anything.
gentleman here in handcuffs? Is the gentleman here in handcuffs before you? No, he's
You
not.
think that I'm stupid?
I don't think you're stupid
What's
at
your
all.
first name, Officer Parker?
My name is Sergeant Parker, and that's all you need to know.
Why do you need to know my first name, but I don't need to know your
Because
first
I
name?
need to identify you as the source of a radio call.
So I think I'd like to identify you to my publicist. What's your first name?
Now you see why you're in handcuffs?
Why? Because you're afraid of the news getting out about you arresting somebody who's innocent, who's making out with her
I've
boyfriend?
been on the news many times.
Awesome.
So
Ma'am, I explained to you over there why you're in.
Because you asked me to turn around and face the wall, and I didn't.
When
Yes.
you left my supervisor, when he told you to stay, hold on.
Brian, did he tell me to stay, or did I say I'm walking away and I was talking to my
I
dad?
said
Did
I
you hear
wouldn't.
him?
Yeah.
Did you hear him tell me to stay here?
Well, I mean, as
You
far
can't
as
walk
that,
away, man.
He didn't say anything to you as you walked away.
You never
walk
did.
away.
You didn't say anything to me as I was walking
Ma'am,
away.
Ma'am.
It just took longer than I assumed. So
I mean,
I'm sorry.
hey, this is for no reason, just because I literally walked away from him, and he didn't tell me not to walk away. I was on the phone with my
I
dad.
explained to you why we put you in handcuffs.
They both have no,
Probation.
not wanted for murder, nothing.
No, I've been off for 2 years.
Not wanted for murder, nothing, right? Yeah.
No, it's marijuana, and I'm done.
Do you see what time it is? 15 minutes ago, I would have been gone.
But because I didn't give you my ID, you
Because
felt that was enough for me.
It is enough, ma'am. It is enough.
That's fine. You know what? This is not a problem for me.
Okay.
Because I'm going to get all of your
It's
names.
obviously a problem
And-
for you.
No, what is a problem for me is that you think you're better than me, and you think you have more power
I
than
think
me.
I do have more power than you.
And that's not true.
Yes, it's
So I'm going to
true.
show you. You'll
I
see,
have more
because
power
we're all
than you.
equal.
I
And
have
that's what our country is based on, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I have-
We are all equal.
Do you need paramedics? You want me to call paramedics for you?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love a
I can call
tranquilizer. Because if not,
paramedics.
when you take me out of these handcuffs, man, it'd be
What?
really exciting to see where my mind went, you know? Just because, like, the fact that
call
you just told me you have more
paramedics
power
for
than
you.
me makes me feel like you want to destroy
But
me
I
in
do
some
have
way.
more
Like,
power than you here.
in
You
this
understand the
situation, just because I'm in handcuffs does not mean you have more power than me.
Oh, I do. When I tell you to do something, you have to do it, ma'am. That's the law.
Well, clearly I didn't have to do it because I still haven't.
Do you want to be out of handcuffs?
I don't know. I can sit here and talk to you all day. I'm enjoying myself. Really. And if you have more charges for me, go ahead, bring them up.
We actually have no charges
Great.
now
So why am I still in handcuffs?
because you were legally detained.
So why am I still legally detained?
I asked
Am I a
you if you want me to
threat
take the
society?
handcuffs off you. Do you want me to take the handcuffs off?
I don't know. I'd like to make another YouTube video.
You took something that would take 5 minutes and made it
That's
30.
great. I'm glad because you guys are really showing me something about my country now, right now, and I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Okay, as soon as we're done here,
Great.
we'll show you a little more.
Great. Can I have my phone, please?
Well, you'll get it.
Am I still required
You're still being detained. Yes.
Okay, all right. Let me
Yes.
just make sure.
Yes.
Should we take some selfies while we're here? You know, tweet about it. Got arrested today.
You didn't get arrested.
Oh,
You
right. Got detained today
You
because
got
the cops
detained.
thought that I was a threat. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
No, actually, the cops never called. We didn't call. Somebody else did. We're here for a reason.
To protect and serve those
You wanna-
people in the
you want-
office
you
up
wanna-
there
you wanna hear something
who are
even funnier?
personally offended by me making out with my boyfriend.
You want to hear something even
I
funnier?
bet there's at least one person up there who's a racist. I bet you.
You want to hear something
I
funnier?
bet you're a little bit racist.
We were going to have coffee.
Yeah, God, it could have been a nice afternoon, but instead you got to deal with me.
It would have been 5 minutes.
I know, and I'm enjoying this because instead of fucking around at a coffee shop, now you get to fuck around with me.
public servants. You guys work for us, don't you?
I don't work for you.
Belligerent.
Isn't that what your oath is, to protect and serve servants of the people?
I work for anyone who calls for police service.
Kidney alert for type 2 diabetes.
40%.
It just took longer than I assumed. So
I mean,
I'm sorry.
hey, this is your job.
Are you guys done with the
you get to deal with
FIs?
crazy batshit fuckers like me every day of the week.
You are?
Right? That's what you signed up for. I signed up for freedom because I thought America was the land of the free and the home of the brave. You know, I'm pretty fucking brave, but I don't go around putting people in handcuffs. So you know, I guess we all have our destinies.
Just Brian.
Right? I serve freedom and love. You guys serve detainment. That's cool. That's cool. That's fun.
I might have.
I hope you feel fun right now.
All right.
That, you know?
All right. We'll see you guys.
I hope you feel free. I hope when you're fucking your spouses,
Go ahead and take
you
the
really
cuffs
feel
off.
like
You can go.
alive. You know, that you feel thankful, full of gratitude for the freedom that you have, that you share with the people of this country every day. I'm saying all of this with love. You know, really.
Do you want the handcuffs off right now?
Well, I mean, I could stay here and shit the shit with you guys all day because I haven't done anything wrong. So
can I. Just go ahead, stand up, turn around if you want the cuffs off.
well, this has been fun, guys. Really,
Has it?
really, it has been.
It hasn't been fun for me.
I know, and that's why I really, at the end of the day, have a lot of compassion for you guys.
Has not been fun for me.
Because you get to go around making people feel like they're powerless, and you get to walk around with this false sense of power that's not real. Because at the end of the day,
At any
if you don't work for me, if you say that you don't work for me, if you're not here to serve the people of this country, then you're not living up to what you're here for.
At any time, has anybody said anything disrespectful to you?
It's you guys signed up for it. Yes, they've all said disrespectful.
What did they
things to
say?
me.
What did they say that was disrespectful?
You know what? If I felt like you were coming from a place of love.
I'm not.
Exactly. So.
Did they say anything disrespectful to you at all?
Yeah.
What? Tell me one thing that they said disrespectful. Yeah, I'm the boss of everybody.
You know what's interesting
Crickets.
about this? I don't even want that.
All right. Hey, I thank you.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. All right. So basically, it was just a recap. But here's the thing. There is actually a full 23-minute audio that TMZ got from the beginning of the interaction to the end of the interaction. Full 23 minutes. What I just played you were just a couple of clips. Before she got off the phone, and I can't believe, I mean, they might have scrubbed the internet for it. I can't find it anymore. And it was readily available in 2014. She was on the phone with her dad, being hella fucking belligerent to the cops the whole time. It took about 10 minutes for her to even get off the phone so that she could communicate with the cops directly. Okay. That's how disrespectful and belligerent that she was. Now, Brian doesn't act like that. Like, he's the more like sane, down to earth, but down to earth is not really a good description for Brian because they're all, like I said, they're all Burning Man people. Okay. She was so disrespectful. The cops were so fucking nice to her. But as a result of her action, that cop got put on leave. Okay. He got put on, there was an investigation about it. And that cop, his career was compromised. And you see, that's where I'm pissed the fuck off. That's what pissed me the fuck off. It's one thing to accuse somebody of racism, but it's another thing to go on every major network that you can get FaceTime for, dead ass lie to your friends and family, lie to the public, lie on the media, and then try to get somebody fucking fired. And to even accuse him of racism doesn't make sense, because it's not like the cops were just driving by and saw them and decided to come talk to him. The employees of the Directors Guild were watching all of this shit happen and wanted it to stop because it's not fucking appropriate in public. Then, let me show you what happened afterward. Okay. Django actress gets community service after judge calls apology to LAPD insincere. So take this. Okay. So after I guess you could say no racially motivated harassment was even found, and she couldn't even say what the cops had said or done to her that was so fucking disrespectful. This is almost a year later. This is August 2015. So this is almost a year later. This incident happened in September of 2014. Okay. This is a year later. When actress and her boyfriend pleaded no contest to charges stemming from an arrest last fall, there was a catch. They had to apologize to the Los Angeles police officers they accused of mistreating the actress because of her race. 3 months later, Danielle Watts, best known for her appearance in Django Unchained, and chef Brian James Lucas, presented the judge with an apology letter that raised eyebrows. Watts said the sergeant involved in the encounter provoked her, describing him as sarcastic and dismissive. She signed her name with a heart, but didn't offer a direct apology. Hopefully you can forgive the fact that my heightened emotions disturbed what might have otherwise been a carefree stop on your way to a nice cup of coffee, she said. The couple was told to try again. This week, Watts wrote a new letter in which she apologized for my lack of emotional control and asked for forgiveness. But the judge wasn't convinced. Calling the apologies insincere and passive-aggressive, she sentenced the couple Wednesday to 15 days of community labor and 2 years of probation, at the city attorney's office said. In an interview, Watts insisted her words were heartfelt. She said she had learned from the situation and hoped to reconcile with the sergeant involved. What, after he already had to get suspended? You dumb bitch. After he already got suspended, now you want to reconcile a year later after 2 letters that you were pressured to write, and still not admitting what really happened? Sergeant Jim Parker scoffed. That was not an apology at all, he said, and it was an excuse letter. The headline-grabbing story unfolded on the afternoon of September 11th when Parker responded to a report of the couple having sex in a car parked near Studio City Talent Agency. Police said Watts and Lucas matched the description of the couple involved. When the sergeant asked the couple for identification, police said Watts refused and walked away. She was handcuffed down the street by 2 other officers, but released after her boyfriend handed police her ID. So Brian, and yeah, this was in the full audio. I remember it. Brian did in fact take her wallet and give the cops her ID. He had to do it because she wanted to make a scene and talk about calling her publicist. Okay. The story quickly gained national attention after the couple publicly complained about the way Watts was treated. Lucas wrote on Facebook that police acted as though the couple had been engaged in prostitution because he is white and Watts is black. The Los Angeles Police Department opened an internal affairs inquiry into the allegations. Parker defended his actions and released a 24-minute audio recording of the encounter, prompting some backlash against the couple's comments. Do you know how many times the cops have been called just for being black? Watts said on the recording. Just because we're black and he's white, I'm really just being honest, sir. Who brought up the race card? Parker said. I'm bringing it up, she said. I said nothing about you being black, Parker said. Watts and Lucas were later charged with committing lewd acts, as they should have been. Those charges were dropped as part of the plea deal offered earlier this year, in which they agreed to plead no contest to disturbing the peace and write apologies to the officers and as citizens who reported them. Watts said she believed the incident highlighted bigger issues about race, policing, and civil liberties, but felt that those were lost in the back and forth about the audio recording and now the apology letters. She's so self-involved. She's so fucking weird. When asked if she would have done nothing differently, Watts said, I was thankful for the entire experience. You're thankful for the experience, Danielle, but you got kicked off of your TV series, and because of this, the entire TV series with Kelsey Grammer and Martin Lawrence got freaking dropped. Hundreds of people work on those shows. You're thankful for the experience that you could never get, that no other company will work with you, no director will work with you. This bitch had done Django Unchained 2 years before. She was on her way up. She was on her fucking way up. And you're going to tell me, I'm thankful, I'm grateful for the entire experience. Because that's how she talked. Okay. I lost my cool. I would have been more kind to the officer, and I get punished for that. I could have been more kind to the officer, and I get punished for that, Watts said. I get punished because they don't believe my apology. No, bitch, they don't. Nobody does. Because even in the fucking apology, she still never admitted to it. She still never fucking admitted to it. Parker said he was ordered to attend an LAPD disciplinary hearing after he was accused of insubordination for speaking to the media about the incident. He retired instead, ending his 26-year career with the LAPD in June. This is what accusations do to people. Because the only way he could defend himself was by sending the audio to fucking TMZ. And because of that, he had to face disciplinary action and then just retired. The former sergeant said that he felt the judge's actions were appropriate, saying Watts made a childish attempt at the blame game. I think this whole incident backfired on her because I recorded it. It would have been a totally different discussion had my recording not been made, he said. In 26 years, a call like that has not blown up into anything of this nature. Thank you, you fucking selfish bitch. And Brian, I love you, man, but you needed to get your fucking girl on a fucking leash. Because she is out of control. And here's the thing. I didn't know her because in 2014, I was already in the Bay Area. They were still in LA. And I'm pretty sure they're still there. So I wasn't there for most of their relationship. I was just there for the beginning part when they met in 2013. Okay. I did not meet her in person until 2017, and it was the last time that I went to Brian's birthday party. And I was looking on my phone for a picture of me at his birthday party, but I couldn't find it because I've had a lot of phones, in the last several years. But when I met her, she was just very hyper, very weird, very bizarre. Like it was like, she's like one of those people that never seems to know how to turn it off if they're not the center of attention. She has that type of personality. Okay. So last one, let's see. Cops want 10,000. LA cops want 10,000 for cop falsely accused of racism. So here's another TMZ. Here's another TMZ. And this is the last one we're going to do. And then I'm going to get into what they said later. Here's another little quick TMZ video. And again, the aftermath of these things is
Who brought up a race car?
unquantifiable. It's ridiculous.
That arrest of Django Unchained actress Danielle Watts now has a retired LAPD officer under fire from the city, a major case going to trial, and TMZ, kind of involved.
There was a cop who was falsely accused of racism.
September 2014, cops respond to reports Danielle and her boyfriend are having sex in a car in public. They confront her, she tries to walk, they cuff her. She then posts pictures and video and accuses Sergeant Jim Parker of targeting her because she's black. He denied it, but
the LAPD wasn't standing up for this guy, so he said, I've got this audio tape, I got to get it out there because I'm getting killed in the media.
And he gave it to us.
It's my right to sit on the street corner and hang out with my boyfriend. That's my right.
Keep yelling, it really helps.
It shows that she was the one in the wrong. She went off. He was actually very restrained.
I bet you're a little bit racist.
We were going by you.
You know how many times I've been called, the cops have been called just for being black?
Who brought up a race card?
So the audio proves Parker, who has since retired, wasn't being racist, but
the city of Los Angeles is now going after this guy, trying to get his retirement money, $10,000, because he dared to give us the audio.
Isn't it a leak of confidential information?
Yeah, I got it.
No,
I'm saying I would have probably done the same thing.
If you're the LAPD, you have to draw a line in the sand so that this doesn't set a precedent for any time you think that you're right.
yeah, fair enough, but Parker is refusing to pay. So we got a big trial coming involving the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, lots of amendments.
Harvey, you can make this right, baby. $10,000, that's a drop in the bucket to you, man.
What about a GoFundMe? Yeah, Harvey. I would do it, but I think we got to take a stand.
Good luck, dude.
So he had to use TMZ to clear his name. It's not good enough. The LAPD gets fucking pissed at him for releasing the audio. And he retires. Gee, thanks, Danielle. Look how your little accusation escalated into smearing somebody's entire career. And now we got courts involved. Okay. There's retirement money involved. Honestly, if Danielle had chosen to sue the LAPD, she would have sued them for way more than 10 grand if she was able to get some freaking high profile, blackety black, wokety woke lawyer to take on her case. Thank God he had that audio. And thank God he gave it to TMZ. And TMZ, as much as wokety woke as they are, they did stand up and they did say that this was a hoax. They did say that this was a false accusation over and over and over again. So, let's fast forward another 2 years. Okay, so again, like I said, basically Danielle Watts ends her fucking acting career because of this. All right, nobody will work with her. If you look on her IMDb, all it is like after 2014, all it is just a bunch of low budget indie movies that she probably did for credits and didn't even get paid for. Okay, I'm just guessing, just saying. All right. Her and Brian go on the Dr. Susan Block show, and I told them, do not go on Dr. Susan Block show because she will not take down content. If y'all get on there and y'all are doing some freaky shit on her show, She will not take down that content. I have seen people come into that studio and do things on camera, and then she will not take down the content and get your careers ruined. Okay. I've seen her do it. I used to work for this woman, okay, as a receptionist, okay. They go on the Dr. Susan Block show. What are they doing? Talking about sex and fooling around on camera and doing like threesome shit, okay. I fucking told Brian, don't fucking do it. He did it anyway. All right. So now you want everyone to believe that y'all really weren't having sex in that car. Y'all some hippies, y'all some sunbathers, y'all like to be naked, you're nudists. We know that you're very hypersexual with each other and with other people. We know that years after she can't get an acting gig, now she wants to try, webcam and porn and shit. So y'all do that. And it isn't until, I believe it was 2016 or 2017. Now I'm in Vegas at the time. I get a message from Brian, and I'm paraphrasing because I wasn't screenshotting shit back then. Not that I didn't know I'd become Red Pill Rage. I was just Jenny back then. So I never thought that I would even publicly speak about this because it's such an embarrassing situation. Like, it's embarrassing for everyone involved, So Chef calls me. He texts us and he says, Danielle and I have something that we need to get off of our chest. And I'm paraphrasing. He says, for the last 2 years, we have been lying. And we can't keep up this lie anymore. We lied online. We lied in interviews. We lied to you guys. We lied to our friends and family. He finally fucking admitted it. He said, Danielle and I were having sex in the car. We were having sex in the car. Took 2 fucking years for them to admit this. But they only admitted it to us. He didn't go back and admit it to the LAPD. He didn't go back and admit it to Sergeant Parker. He didn't go back and admit it to TMZ and Harvey, what's his face? Okay, Harvey Levin. He didn't go back and admit it to Good Morning America. He didn't go back and admit it to Jimmy Kimmel. He didn't go back and admit it to fucking Good Day LA. NBC, CBS, the Directors Guild. Nobody. Nobody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I am so motivated to take down this fake news media and cancel culture and BLM and these fucking communists, because I see firsthand how it destroys people's lives over nothing. Danielle destroyed her own career over fucking nothing. Not to mention, Brian himself had already been a celebrity chef for years. And I'm not even sure how his career is going, honestly. I really don't know. But he had some major celebrity clients that he used to cook for, the vegan food, okay? I don't know how it affected his career. And he thought by being the supportive white boy simp husband, instead of putting her ass in place and telling her to shut up, which is what any boyfriend should have done in that situation, especially since the cops don't show up until after you're finished and you both have your fucking clothes on and nobody can really prove you're not being caught in the act. All they were asking for was your ID to make sure y'all didn't have any fucking past warrants or anything. That's it. The cops didn't even want to be there. They didn't even want to take that call. They were on the way to Dunkin'. Well, they don't have Dunkin' Donuts in LA. They were on the way to Starbucks. I got misidentified as somebody who, I was at the airport in Las Vegas, and our next story is about Las Vegas, which I'm about to move into in a minute. But I've had cops say that I fit the description of somebody who was like shoplifting or stealing. And I've never shoplifted or stolen from a store a day in my life, and I never will. And I will go to my grave having never shoplifted from a store. Like, to me, that is the most disgusting. People who steal are like the most disgusting people in the world. I hate thieves. Okay. I totally forgot my thought. Yeah, so I'm in the Vegas airport. Usually what they do is they'll ask you, what you're doing, why you're there. They'll ask for your ID, and in 5 minutes, it's over. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day. That's what the cops always tell me. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day. They don't say shit. They really don't. So, for her to turn this into the media fiasco that she did, and for Brian never to fucking tell her to stand down, is very indicative of how these modern feminist postmodern fucking relationships go, especially with like these poly people. It gets weird, and it broke my heart. And I remember calling Brian after he sent me that text message, and I was just like, bro, you fucked up, bro. like I was supportive because he's still my friend at this time. And this is this is like the very beginning of me becoming conservative. I'm not quite fully all the way in it yet. I remember calling him back and just being like, bro, you fucked up, because you had everyone having your back. Everyone had your back. And you ended all these fucking people's jobs. Calling someone, like, I remember that the phone call dropped because either I didn't have good reception or he didn't have good reception. But I do remember calling him after he admitted to it, and my mind was just fucking blown. My mind is just fucking blown. So that is the story of Chef Brian Lucas and Danielle Watts. That's the story. He was a mentor. He was a great chef. He was a friend. He always gave me good ideas for, food. I've been to his birthday party several times. Like, I kind of miss him. He was a really nice guy. He's a really fucking nice guy. I do miss him. But when people Google his name, this is what people are going to see now. Is all this accusations, all these false accusations of everything. Look how it blew back on both of them. All because they wanted to turn something that they knew they had been doing wrong. They could have gotten out of it. They could have fucking gotten out of it and be like, yeah, sir, no, here you go, no problem. They could have fucking easily gotten out of it. But Miss Danielle Watts thought that she was going to turn this whole fiasco into a teachable moment that she could use to further her career, but instead it ended her career. Case closed. All right. Moving on. And we are going to talk about Vegas for a little bit. So in Las Vegas, I don't know if you guys remember this story, but let me get my tabs together. I don't know if y'all remember this story. There was a Seattle Seahawks player who was in Las Vegas at a nightclub, and this player, his name is Michael Bennett. He said that there was an incident at the club where there was a loud noise, like there was a big fucking loud noise. And it was so loud that everybody heard it. And at first, people thought it was a gunshot. Okay, so of course, people are running out of the casino. They're running out of the club. It's a little bit frenzied. Not a little bit. It's frenzied. It's a little chaotic. And one thing that we know about Metro PD is that they do take that shit seriously. And the only time, in my opinion, it wasn't taken seriously was the whole October 1st thing, which I have made an episode about. So scroll back in my repertoire of videos and you'll be able to find it. I do think that October 1st was an inside job. I do think it was a hoax, and I explain all of that. But other than that, anytime there's a fight, gunshots, robbery, the police in these casinos are very, very much on it, okay? What ended up happening in reality was that there was no gunshot. The loud bang that people heard that scared everyone was actually a speaker that had fallen inside of the club, okay? So something engineering wise, mechanical wise, electric wise, I don't know, but something caused this speaker to fall. And thankfully it didn't hurt anybody. Nobody was around, but I guess people didn't see what was going on. They just heard it. So when this speaker fell in this club, which is mind boggling to me, because it's like $1 million, gazillion dollar club. Like, it's really nice. The police were called, and this NFL player gets chased because of his suspicious activity. He looked suspicious, okay? I'm going to get to why he looked suspicious later, okay? But let's start off with the statement that Roger Goodell, that piece of shit, Roger Goodell made about the Las Vegas Police Department. Then we're going to read Michael Bennett's statement, and then we're going to go from there. Okay. This is September 6, 2017. Roger Goodell released a statement on Michael Bennett's allegations against the LV Metro PD. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell released a statement through the league spokesman Brian McCarthy on Wednesday, voicing support for Seattle Seahawks defensive end Michael Bennett after he said he was the victim of excessive force used by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Michael Bennett represents the best of the NFL, a leader on his team and in his community. Our foremost concern is the welfare of Michael and his family. While we understand the Las Vegas Police Department will address this later this evening, the issues Michael has been raising deserve serious attention from all of our leaders in every community. We will support Michael and all the NFL players in promoting mutual respect between law enforcement and the communities they loyally serve, fair and equal treatment under the law. On Wednesday morning, Bennett offered an account of the events that had transpired on the evening of August 26th after the Floyd Mayweather-Conor McGregor boxing match at the T-Mobile Arena. This is a tweet where he says equality, okay? Hold on. There's another tab. Hold on. I want to read the letter. I want to make it bigger, though. Dear world, on Saturday, August 26, 2017, I was in Vegas to attend the Mayweather-McGregor fight on my day off. After the fight, while heading back to my hotel, several hundred people heard what sounded like gunshots. Like many people in the area, I ran away from the sound, looking for safety. Las Vegas police officers singled me out and pointed their guns at me for doing nothing more than simply being a black man in the wrong place at the wrong time. Officers' excessive use of force was unbearable. I felt helpless as I lay there on the ground, handcuffed, facing the real-life threat of being killed. All I can think of was, I'm going to die for no other reason than I am Black, and my skin color is somehow a threat. My life flashed before my eyes as I thought of my girls. Would I ever play with them again, or watch them have kids, or be able to kiss my wife again and tell her I love her? I kept asking the officers, what did I do, and reminding them that I had rights they were on duty. They were duty bound to respect. Officers ignored my pleas and instead told me to shut up, and then took me to the back of a nearby police car where I sat for what felt like an eternity until they apparently realized I was not a thug, common criminal, or ordinary Black man, but Michael Bennett, a famous professional football player. After confirming my identity, I was ultimately released without any legitimate justification for the officers' abusive conduct. I have always held a strong conviction that protesting or standing up for justice is just simply the right thing to do. The fact is unequivocally, without question, why before every game I sit during the national anthem, because equality doesn't live in this country. And no matter how much money you make, what job title you have, or how much you give, you are seen as a nigger, and you will be treated that way. The system failed me. I can only imagine what Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and Charlena Lyles felt. I have retained Oakland civil rights attorney John Burris to investigate and explore all my legal options, including filing a civil rights lawsuit for the violation of my constitutional rights. Sincerely, Michael Bennett. That son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna show you how he's lying. I'm gonna show you. I told you I had the receipts. Let's finish reading the article. Shortly after Bennett released his statement, TMZ Sports obtained video of the 31-year-old being detained by police. In the video, Michael Bennett can be heard exclaiming, "I wasn't doing nothing, man. I was here with my friends. They told us to get out. Everybody ran." TMZ later cited sources close to the investigation and reported the police ordered everyone to get down and not move so they could properly search and investigate after responding to a possible shooting. At that point, TMZ reported police detained Bennett and ordered him down on the ground at gunpoint before Bennett declared he was not involved in the shooting. In addition to Goodell, Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll released a statement Wednesday in support of Bennett. What happened with Michael is a classic illustration of the reality of inequality demonstrated daily, Carroll wrote. May this incident inspire us all to respond with compassion when inequalities are brought to light and allow us to have the courage to stand for change. These motherfuckers. These motherfuckers. Okay. I need to hold on, guys. I need some water because I'm about to go in. We're not done. We have a lot more receipts, and I'm gonna give y'all my fucking evidence. I'm gonna give y'all my receipts. I need some water though. Hold on. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna get another piece. Maybe I shouldn't drink any more coffee. Yeah, no more coffee. All right, I'm back. Y'all better still be in the chat. Okay. Okay. These motherfuckers piss me off. Let me take a break. Let's read some of the comments. Oh, we got a troll in here. Thank you, troll. We've got some cam girls in the chat. Welcome, cam girls. Cam girls for Trump. Conservative cam girls. Oh my God. Thank you. Are you talking to me? Thank you. Cam girls in the house. Hey, Shotgun, how are you? Red Stripe, how are you? MAGA camps. Hoes for Trump. Hey, strippers for Trump, cam girls for Trump, hoes for Trump. I'm all for it. Do it. Yeah, hold on. It gets better. Hold on. We're not done. We're not done. We got a lot. I told you this is going to be a long stream. We're already an hour and 20 minutes into it. This is easily a 2-hour stream. Okay. Will Michael Bennett's police altercation lead to legal action? The release of the LVMPD video has only proved to make a potential case more divisive. On Friday, Clark County, Nevada, Sheriff Joe Lombardo announced that 3 officers from the Las Vegas Metro Police Department acted properly in detaining Seattle Seahawks defensive end Michael Bennett. Bennett was detained shortly after attending the Saturday, August 26th fight between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor at the T-Mobile Arena, which is down the street by, it's closer to Tropicana. Okay, so these people he came to Flamingo, he was closer to Tropicana. As explained more fully in another SI article, Bennett was detained for approximately 10 minutes while officers searched for an active shooter. He was handcuffed and placed in the back of a police car. After officers realized that Bennett had nothing to do with the shooting, Bennett says the officers realized that he was an NFL. He played in the NFL. He was released. At no point Bennett was arrested. On September 8th, in a September 8th tweeted statement titled Equality, which I just read to you, Bennett insisted that the officers pointed guns at him for nothing more than simply being a black man in the wrong place at the wrong time. He also described the officers as engaging in excessive force. To that end, Bennett highlighted one officer forcefully jammed his knee into Bennett's back, thereby impairing Bennett's breathing. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? I'm not going to expound upon why that sounds familiar, but we've heard that before, haven't we? In measured remarks on Friday, Sheriff Lombardo acknowledged that Bennett has a valid perspective as an innocent person who was detained by police. Lombardo also noted that he understood why Bennett did not feel good about the incident. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is simply nothing more than a case of a black person getting their feelings hurt because they were held accountable for their behavior, and now it's racism, right? Racism, just like poor little Danielle. This is about love and freedom and duty and land of the brave and home of the free. I can't believe this is happening to me. Dumbass. Nonetheless, Lombardo stressed that he and his staff reviewed 193 videos that shed light on the incident, and these videos corroborated the officer's decision to detain Bennett on suspicion of a felony. Lombardo maintained that the officer's goal was to safely bring an end to the situation, and that their interactions with Bennett were lawful, even if Bennett regarded them as degrading and humiliating. Mark my words, because I'm going to come back to degrading and humiliating in a second, because I got more receipts. It's coming. It's fucking coming. We in this now. We are in this now. Yeah, he needs his blankie. He needs his fucking blankie. Fucking baby. Hey, Brandon. Welcome. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. Samantha, welcome. Bone, welcome. Thank you for listening and working. Okay, moving on. During his press conference, Sheriff Lombardo played a 2-minute video of the incident. The incident shows a chaotic scene with bystanders screaming in the response to hearing a gunshot. Bennett is then shown in a crouched stance, hastily moving to hide behind a slot machine at the Cromwell Hotel and Casino. One officer on the scene noticed Bennett at this point in time. By the way, that was a black officer who initially observed Bennett doing this shit and like trying to maneuver between fucking slot machines. A black officer. Bennett's actions in the casino were not especially suspicious. His crouching seems explainable by the fact that he is 6'4" and worried about a live shooter in his vicinity. His decision to hide behind an object also appears rational since he feared for his safety. For that matter, the video shows other people in the building lying down for their own safety. Here's where it went wrong. Bennett then ran away from this machine and out the doors of the casino. He was not alone in running, as the video shows other persons quickly exited the building. An officer then can be heard yelling, "One running, there's one running," in an apparent reference to Bennett, though, as mentioned above, other persons were running. The officer then yells, "Come back," but Bennett instead climbed over a wall and into the fucking street. An officer asked, "Did he have a gun?" which prompted the first officer to say, over there," as he apparently saw Bennett. The first officer then pushes a crowd away in pursuit of Bennett and is then heard yelling, "Get on the ground." At that point, Bennett's detention begins, though the 2-minute does not show the moment where the officer encountered Bennett. On the video, Bennett is shown pleading that he hadn't done anything wrong. He explained he has only ran because he was told to get up and then saw other people running out of the casino. After an officer handcuffed Bennett and escorted him back to the back of the police car, Bennett yelled, "Let go, man." Bennett's remark prompted the officer to scream at him, "Sit down." The officer explained to Bennett that he and the other police were dealing with a shooter. One officer then cursed at Bennett to get his fucking feet into the car. Bennett continued to ask why he was being detained. He was generally cooperative with the officer's requests. Could Bennett pursue legal action against the police? The short answer to this question is yes, though, as explained below, it is worth highlighting the difficulties of such an action. Bennett has retained noted civil rights attorney John Burris to explore the possibility of legal action. If Bennett decided to bring this case, it would likely consist of an excessive force claim under Section 1983 of the Civil Rights Act of 1871. Such a claim would allow Bennett to argue that his Fourth Amendment protection from unreasonable searches and his Fifth and 14th Amendment protections from unlawful detainment without due processes were violated. Bennett could likely also sue for negligence, arguing the officers engaged in unreasonable treatment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, arguing that the officer engaged in outrageous behavior and caused him emotional turmoil, and battery, arguing the officers made unlawful physical contact with Bennett. To advance his claims, Bennett could contend that the officers detained him without justifiable cause. He would highlight that other persons in the casino hid and ran, and yet officers zeroed in on Bennett, a large black man, as the suspect. Bennett would also contend that the officers used more force than necessary to take him into custody. As noted above, Bennett claims that one officer placed his knee into Bennett's back, thereby impairing his breathing. Further, Bennett would argue that he was detained for an unreasonable amount of time. 10 minutes? Really, bitch? 10 minutes? Fucking baby. To that end, Bennett would highlight that the officers quickly realized he was not armed and yet wouldn't release him. Oh, I'm sorry. 10 minutes is an unreasonable amount of time? Okay. All right. Bennett would also raise questions about the 2-minute video played by Sheriff Lombardo. The video contains a sequence of events that had been spliced from multiple cameras, including building surveillance cameras and officers' body cameras. It's possible that a different collection of video might reflect differently on the incident. This does not mean the video is misleading, but Burris, an attorney representing Bennett, would no doubt demand to see all available video and sound. Burris recently told media that LVMPD has promised to share those recordings. Similarly, Bennett's attorney would call into question the impact of one of the officers' body cameras not being turned on. Likely defenses for the police. In a response to the lawsuit, LVMPD would be armed with several defenses. For one, LVMPD would stress that they responded to an ongoing public safety threat and that Bennett drew attention to himself by crouching, hiding, and then sprinting away from the police. So once again, okay, he was told to lay down on the ground flat, but he wanted to do this behind a slot machine instead. Now, he explained why he might have done. No, actually, Sheriff Lombardo explained why he might have done that, but he was told to get on the fucking ground. And when a cop tells you to get on the fucking ground, you get on the fucking ground. You're not doing this and squatting in between slot machines. Get on the fucking ground. Okay? Exactly. All right, let's keep going. I told you this is a buckle up, folks. The LVMPD would also underscore that the officers only needed to find reasonable suspicion in order to lawfully detain Bennett, which is true, and determine whether or not he played a role in the shooting. Such suspicion, the LVMPD contends, was derived from Bennett's suspicious behavior in the context of unidentified live shooter. Also, as to the length of Bennett's detainment, 10 minutes complies with case precedent. Once again, 10 minutes complies with case precedent. The LVMPD would further highlight that Bennett does not appear to have suffered any injuries from the incident. Bennett was clearly offended and humiliated, but in terms of potential damages, in a case might not prove at all that impactful. Lastly, LVMPD, like other police departments, can sometimes defeat lawsuits through sovereign immunity. Sovereign immunity refers to the concept that in certain situations, the government can only be sued if it agrees to be sued. SI will keep you updated on any additional fallout with the Bennett police dispute. Hold on, we're not done. Play it.
Department will not punish the officers involved in the Michael Bennett incident in Las Vegas in late August. The Las Vegas PD say they found no evidence that the officers used excessive force in detaining the Seahawks defensive end. In a press conference, a police spokesperson said the department combed through hundreds of videos of the night in question. Now, Bennett was detained following a report of gunfire at a club on the Las Vegas Strip. Bennett says that an officer pointed a gun at his head. However, the body camera of the officer who initially detained Bennett was not turned on.
Police have released more video in the Michael Bennett Las Vegas takedown incident. You know the one, you saw the video on TMZ Sports, the one where Michael Bennett claimed he was racially profiled and held at gunpoint because he was black. Now cops are saying the video shows he's full of it. They're saying he's lying about that, and they have the video to prove it. Cops just released several minutes of video, including police body cam video and casino security video and footage from all over the street, which they say justifies why police chased after Michael Bennett and took him down to the ground in the early hours of August 27th, hours after the Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather fight. Now remember, you saw in our video, he was down on the ground, cop had a gun out, he was screaming, I didn't do anything wrong, and he claimed that he had no
Look at the
idea
wall.
why he was
Look at
taken
the
down to
wall.
begin with.
We don't talk
Cops are
about
saying
that.
They arrived to the Cromwell Casino after reports of an active shooter and told everybody, get down to the ground. They saw Bennett crouched down, running through the casino and hiding behind a slot machine, and they dubbed that to be suspicious activity. When he went from behind the slot machine and left the door, he jumped over a gate, went down to the street, and cops chased after him. Now, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department says a 3-team unit that was inside the casino, comprised of 2 Hispanic officers and an African-American officer, made a quick decision. They said, oh my God, does he have a gun? Maybe. And decided to chase after him and detain him as a possible suspect. They did but they say they believe that race was not a factor. They were never like, oh, there's a black guy, let's go get him. They said there's a guy who was acting suspicious and ran out of the casino. We need to go detain him and see if he's a part of this incident that we're investigating. Once they got there, the video shows Bennett was demanding an explanation, had no idea why he'd been stopped, and the cops were trying to tell him, you did not obey orders inside of the casino, and that's why we thought you might be a suspicious person. He was saying, I was scared. I thought there was a shooting. I was just concerned about my daughters. I have 3 daughters. I want to get home. Ultimately, they determined he did nothing wrong, and they asked for IDs so they could, document the incident. He said, my name is Michael Bennett. I play for the Seattle Seahawks. Look it up. Cops did. They pulled up their cell phones and they Googled him, and they found out that he was indeed Michael Bennett of the Seattle Seahawks. Ultimately, they let him go. They told him that he was not under arrest, that they needed to detain him as part of the investigation, and he went home. Cops are now saying that after a thorough review, they do not believe the officers did anything wrong. They acted completely appropriately. They will not be disciplined, and it'll be interesting to see if they reach out to Michael Bennett and how Michael Bennett reacts to this news conference.
Wait, there's more. There's more. I'm not done. There's more. Let's go. You think I'm done with these liars? I'm done with that. I'm done with that. We're not done. I'm done with the bullshit, and I'm gonna put this shit to bed now. Right the fuck now. I'm gonna put all of this Jussie Smollett bullshit to bed. And just wait until my 6 o'clock stream. You guys come back at 6, okay? Just wait. Just wait. I'm gonna, you guys, I'm done with the lies. I'm done with the fucking lies. I have had it. I keep my mouth shut, try to be nice. I'm done. Okay, so this is September 29th, okay? Remember, the incident happened on August 26th, so this is just over a month later. Seattle, okay? The Las Vegas Metro Police Department released new body cam footage on Friday, video on Friday from its investigation into the encounter with officers and Seahawks defensive end Michael Bennett. Bennett in early September accused Las Vegas police of racially motivated excessive force, saying he was threatened at gunpoint and handcuffed following a report of gunshots in an after-hours club at the casino hotel. Bennett, who has recently remained seated during the national anthem prior to football games, announced a statement to Twitter detailing his side of the story. Well, isn't that a coincidence? So he was one of those. So he was one of you. Can you guys hear me? So he was one of those take the knee people. So Colin Kaepernick started that shit, and then he got on the bandwagon. And this incident happens at this club, and he uses it as an opportunity to prove why he takes the knee. Some of this, okay, Metro gave a news conference in September, which I just read to you about. The chase ended with a controversial encounter. Scroll down below to read the expanded sections of what happened. All right. The Las Vegas Police Department has shared body cam footage during a news conference at the scene that unfolded outside and inside the casino hotel, the Cromwell and Dre's nightclub. They didn't even spell it right. Fucking Portland. Seattle, whatever. Leading up to the incident with Bennett on August 27th. The video shows officer responding to an active shooter call, which turned out to be false. I told you guys, it was a fucking speaker. According to the police, a stanchion was knocked over during a fight, which prompted reports of a shooting. And by the way, fights happen at this club, and I will tell you why fights happen at this club. As officer investigated, patrons panicked as they tried to leave the building. Video shows people screaming and scrambling to get out of the casino and others trying to hide. So most of this you already know. Let's go ahead and watch the body cam footage, okay? All right.
minutes. So take me back to my car.
So go ahead and stop the car.
Sit down. Turn your head. Now. What am I getting arrested for? I'm getting arrested. I'm not going to be here right now. What am I getting arrested? We're dealing with the shooter. All right, but I didn't do that. Get out. Okay, man, I got no problem, man. I'm just asking the question. What did you do with the other guy? I'm going to check your cuffs real quick, make sure they're not too tight, okay? Please be uncomfortable. I can just talk to you guys because I didn't even do anything. Okay. I'm being detained for what? Tell me what am I being detained for? I need to do anything to get detained. I'm just a person ready for somebody shooting. They said, why you jumping? I'm like, somebody shooting, man. I got 3 daughters. I want to know what's my kid. Okay. Hey, that's understandable, and that's all. I don't know why they took you into custody, okay? I can't ask you any questions right now. Okay. Hey, literally just said that. Okay. But man, can I break down any cuffs, man? I didn't do anything. Okay. Nobody gets to me. I'm just for no reason. Nobody gets a reason. Nothing. Nothing than this. I just want to go home, man. And nobody can tell me what I did. That's not what's going on, man. Hey, I don't know what you did, okay? I didn't do anything. The people in charge just handed you off to me, okay? Okay.
Single circle in the way.
Anybody just got to take it in the
Yeah, because when we're going to the casino, it's when everybody get down. You just have to get up and check. Out these doors, I have no the door. Okay,
you're not in under arrest. We're going to get you out of here, okay? But we just have to make sure, because right now, all we know is people are shooting in there is what we're hearing, and then you're running away. So we're making sure that's not you. Now, come out. And if it's not you, we don't have time to be out here talking to you. Do you have an ID on you?
No, man, my name is Michael Bennett.
Okay. Michael Bennett.
Okay, we appear to be covered on the exterior side of the building. Michael, we've got
okay, well, we understand, but what's your name, friend?
Put the stuff to get down, put the guns in the back of my head, they're gonna blow my head off. What are y'all scared of?
Okay, that's right. 7970. Oh, so 6 is a classic.
779.
Mexican.
We don't have time to get into to talk to somebody that explains here. We have to make sure people are safe. We have to have it happen now. So what? You understand that what I'm saying is that when everyone's down here running, and we don't know what's going on. We don't have time to figure everything out. That's why we threw you back here, made sure you were safe. Threw you back here while we're trying to figure everything out. So that's why this happened. I believe you 100% that you didn't do anything. But we don't have time to have one-on-ones right now when we have somebody in there shooting at us. We have to make sure this is taken care of.
Exactly.
So you at no point were you under arrest. He probably thought maybe you were the shooter, because like I said, you were running. So he's probably like, well, I don't have time. Sometimes they say stuff like that just to get compliance real quick so we can get it taken care of and figure it out when everybody's safe.
What's your date of birth?
Pretty sure on everything.
I mean, you need any more resources upstairs, or you have to spend that stuff?
I mean, I imagine there's but if I need a picture of them, if you football, you recognize them?
Okay. You got all.
Okay.
And I'll send the shrink back downstairs.
It's important, but we have to do it. Okay. And we don't know if people are shooting at us, so when you're yelling at us, we just need to get you there fast up. Sorry that happened, but why don't I have the other? Yeah, I go that way. This is all blocked up.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. You guys noticed that all the police cars were around and there weren't any people around. You notice how they were in the middle of the street? I'm about to explain that shit. And I'm about to explain why this motherfucker, after shaking hands with the cops after he has been let go, why he's a fucking piece of shit liar. First off, let's talk about the Cromwell. Let's talk about the intersection of Flamingo. The intersection of Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. How do I know this? Oh, well, I lived in Vegas for 2 years, and this was pretty much the only club that I liked to go to, so I was always there. Okay. Right here. This right here is the Cromwell Hotel. This right here is Bally's. This right here is Bellagio. Okay, you can see, you know, the pool, the fountains. This right here is Caesar's Palace. Okay. I want you to look at what's going on here. Do you guys see these bridges, these overpass bridges? There's ones going from the Cromwell to Caesars. There's one going from Caesars to Bellagio, one going from Bellagio to Bally, one going from Bally back to the Cromwell. I don't know if you guys know this, but years ago, and this is like when I was a kid, regular people, like pedestrians, you could walk on the sidewalks. There were intersections on these streets. I'm not sure how many years ago it was, but I distinctly remember being a child and remembering being able to walk on the streets of Las Vegas Boulevard. Well, considering how many people there are and how much traffic there is on that street, at a certain point, these overpass bridges were built so you could walk from one casino to the other. And on the actual street level, on these corners here, there are 4-foot, if not higher, partitions. They're not that high, like 4-foot partitions, concrete fucking partitions that pedestrians can't cross here. Let's look at the Cromwell a little closer. Okay. And I know this because I have been to this club. You could see the pool right here. I have been to this club many, many times. There's an exit to Las Vegas Boulevard. There's an exit to Flamingo Boulevard. There's an exit that goes back here. I wish I had a way to highlight. There's an exit back here where the parking lot and the entrance to the Flamingo, which is right here. So you can exit to the Flamingo or you can exit to the parking lot of the Flamingo. There's another exit on this side to the front of the Flamingo. You can see it right there. That's the Flamingo. That's the Cromwell. There's an exit in between right there. Michael Bennett, the fucking genius that he is so scared for his life that he doesn't go through this exit. He doesn't go through the north exit. He doesn't go through the east exit, either one of them. He goes through the south exit, which is right there on that intersection right there. And instead of running up the stairs, instead of running north on Las Vegas Boulevard, or running east on Flamingo Boulevard, or running up the stairs to get to Bally, doesn't decide to run for his life to go to the Caesar's Palace, doesn't decide to run for his life to go to Bally, doesn't decide to go run down the street where the parking lot is, doesn't decide to go run into the Flamingo. Michael Bennett decides he is going to jump off of this partition into oncoming fucking traffic. Let that sink in. This man decides to jump a concrete partition to run into oncoming fucking traffic. Does that not sound crazy to you? Because if I was a police officer, first of all, even if I didn't suspect this person of being the shooter, I would at least be wondering what drug this person is on that would make them jump over a concrete partition where no pedestrians are allowed into oncoming traffic. I knew this was bullshit when I saw him in the street. Why would you do that? There are so many other places to go to run if you want to get out of that hotel, that casino. There are like 5 exits. And there are so many different directions you can run in. But Michael Bennett, Mr. Black Lives Matter, Mr. Take the Knee, decides to run into oncoming fucking traffic on Las Vegas fucking Boulevard, which is packed 24/7 with cars and cabs and taxis and tourists. Why would you do that? Oh, I'm not done. You think I'm done? I'm not done. I have more. Let's talk about, hold on, I'm going to end my stream on, I got some pictures to show you. Okay. I'm going to talk about hold on. Okay. I'm going to talk about the club that Michael Bennett was at. Because you see, this is the nail in the coffin. This is what pisses me the fuck off. I went back into my Shutterfly and I was trying to find some videos or pictures from me at this club. The same club that Michael Bennett was in. I don't have very many, and they're not really that good, but I'll show you what I do have. So this is Dre's nightclub. Okay. Oh, you can't. Hold on. Maybe that'll help. Okay. This is Dre's nightclub, voted best nightclub in Las Vegas. I was on the guest list at this nightclub, which isn't hard to do. If you're a female, you can always get on any guest list of any club and get in for free. So I saw Ray Shremmerd there. I saw T.I. there. I saw Nelly there, and I've seen Snoop Dogg there. Okay, never had to pay. I think this was the night. Yeah, I think this was the night I went to go see Ray Shremmerd. Okay. I ain't got no type. Alpha males is the only thing that I like. That Ray Shremmerd, okay? I used to go to that club quite frequently, all right? It is one of my favorite clubs in Las Vegas. Let's talk about the clientele of that club. Because you see, this is where I get pissed off. Michael Bennett wants to run home after this incident, get Roger Goodell, get his head coach, get everybody on board for this race, extreme excessive force and racially motivated discrimination bullshit. Dre's nightclub is a fucking hip hop club. I can guarantee you, you can see how mad I'm getting. I can see how mad I'm getting. I guarantee you 85% of the patrons at that club are Black. Not to mention downstairs at the Cromwell, which is the actual hotel casino, that is a known casino for these bad bitches who are like really escorts. That's a known club. I mean, that's a known casino for Black women to be in who are escorting. It's well known, very fucking well known. But you wouldn't know that if you don't live in Vegas. And luckily I lived in Vegas for 2 years. Okay. This is a hip hop club where the majority of the patrons are Black, where the majority of the women in the casino are Black because they're looking for dates. And you want to sit here and tell me that you were singled out because you were Black when everybody fucking there is Black? Really, Michael Bennett? Really, that's what we're doing? Okay. You think I'm kidding? I got the receipts. I told you I had the receipts. Let's look at who has a residency at this club now. Not in 2017. Okay, I remember. Actually, I remember. Okay. Ray Shremmerd has a residency there. Migos had a residency. Future had a residency. Nelly had a residency. DJ Franzen had a residency. And one more. It was either Kid Cudi or J. Cole had a residency at the fucking nightclub. Okay. That was who played there. Okay. Michael Bennett, I don't know why nobody asked me. Like, why didn't the NFL ask me? Because I could have told you he wasn't the only nigga in the room. I could have told the NFL. I could have told Roger Goodell that. Nobody thought to check this guy's story. Nobody thought to think about what maybe the type of environment of this club, the clientele, the patrons of this club might be. Hold up. Let's talk about who's there right now. Okay. Residencies are Nelly, like I said, 50 Cent, Chase B, Earae, Rick Ross, and 2 Chainz. That's who they got playing at this club. Oh yeah, French Montana, Juicy J, Keshia Cole, 2 Chainz, and Gucci Mane. Okay. Oh yeah, Wiz Khalifa might have had a residency there too. And French Montana, I think, had a residency there too at the time. Let's look at some more of their events. Big Sean, Earae, Nelly, Chase B, 50 Cent, Rick Ross, 2 Chainz. Is that all they got on there? Let's look at the Beach Club. Oh wait, they're closed right now. Oh God. Nothing about the story made any fucking sense. Nothing. And yet, Roger Goodell's going to come out and support him. The NFL's going to come out and support him. His coach is going to come out and support him. Everyone on his team comes out and support him. I'm sure Colin Kaepernick came out to support him. And it was all a fucking lie. It was a speaker. Let's recap. It was a speaker that fell that people thought was a gunshot. And the cops did what they were supposed to do. They came in there. They got everybody on the ground. They wanted to do some searches, make sure nobody had a fucking gun in their pocket, which is easy to do because Las Vegas is a carry state. You can have a gun, all right? They were trying to make sure that everyone's safety was maintained and that if anybody did do anything wrong, that they weren't getting away with it. Michael Bennett's dumbass decides to jump over a concrete partition into oncoming traffic and then gets mad. He sits in a police car for 10 minutes, freaked out, then gets mad after these cops let him go without any injury, without any incident, with nothing. The cops let him go. He shakes their hand, flies home after the McGregor fight, flies home, starts talking shit 10 days later, and starts talking about retaining an attorney over this whole thing. When the officers were black, the one that put him in cuffs was Mexican, and I'm not going to say every patron, but I'm sure, because of the amount of times that I've been at this same club, I am positive 75 to 85% of the other patrons there were also black. But you want to run back and try to spin some story, and then Red Pill TMZ, I'm sorry, not Red Pill TMZ, the real TMZ Sports catches your ass. And to be honest, you know what's kind of funny? At least in these two cases here, TMZ actually did the right thing. Harvey Levin actually did the right thing and told the truth. And I respect that, you know? So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I have been wanting to talk about this for so long, and I finally decided it was appropriate for me to do so. So I'm going to download this episode. I'm going to make sure that I edit it so that we can keep it forever. I'm probably going to upload it again next week. I want to consider this part of Coon College. Like, this is serious education, you know, serious education here. And I want you guys to understand, don't believe these people. Don't fucking believe when these lefties come to you talking about white people this and racial profiling and white supremacy and police brutality. When they come to you talking all that shit, please just send them this video. Please just send them to my channel so I can explain and educate in detail every little dynamic that goes into the race grievance industry. Everything. Okay, so thank you guys for being here with me. And we have another stream where I'm going to be debunking some other race hoaxes, alleged race hoaxes. I'm alleging that they are hoaxes. Okay, we're going to be debunking those real soon. Real soon. So join me back at 6 o'clock CST, 6 p.m. Central Time. I'll be back on here, and we are going to go through 4 more race hoaxes, and we are also going to address some cyberbullying behavior that I have unfortunately observed from someone who has been on this channel, someone that I have tried to reach out to privately, but they don't want to listen and they don't want to talk to me. So guess what? We're gonna do a fucking intervention. Yeah, we're gonna do an intervention for this person, because this person is out of control and they're spreading lies. And if you know me, you know how much I hate liars. So thank you guys for staying with me. Please share, and leave comments. And I'll see you guys back at 6.